going on the R-Lot here. You know, we've seen this before when he first came to play in competitive scene here.
Having a different choice for every situation and every opponent.
Well, here we go. Okay, we're going to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the upper bracket matchup between Saudi Arabia and Egypt here, looking to send the other down to the lower bracket. And they started out typical starts, as you can see too, right? We've got Troll there on this R-Lot, who finally we see in the play, right, for the playoffs, because constantly it's been him showing up, Novaria locked in. So now I guess the biggest question is, yeah, that he is the roam. How does this work out for them? You know, how do they utilize that? We know that the changes that happened to R-Lot kind of hurt him a little bit, right, in a sense.
It's nerfed him out.
Yeah, but he's not like completely, you know,
well, you would
useless.
Yeah, I agree, but that final slash could actually be a great notification for the team if it is going to be used. By just having the Kufra for Egypt right now, there's no catch, there's no hold for Saudi Arabia. This is a different player that we're seeing. How will they pull off something with this kind of line? Look at that. Pokes coming on for Marrow, receiving damage. Cuffin trying to go to enforce Troll, dropping down on half HP. How is Smile cooperating with this? But this is Troll falling down hands of Smile. Egypt secures the first blood. Huda, on the other hand, tries to escape, securing the orange and his own purple, well, safely fleeing that fight.
That's big. That's a nice pickup here for Egypt, getting that first blood. It goes in the hands of Smile. We know how this can scale really well if one of those very important lanes in the early game gets the early first blood, right? Still putting the pressure on Tarzan.
Oh no, Tarzan being trapped in 3. Now that's the follow-up. Appraiser's Wrath would not connect even to Alpha. Mare on the other hand, slowing down Troll. Takes a poke out of, uses the regen. Now going back on their lanes, eyeing the turtle here. Huda has more vision and position. Troll is the only one here for the team of Saudi Arabia. That's the jump, that's the bouncing ball. Will he be caught off here? Tempest Blades will be used, damage spears through to Troll. Huda gets the kill. Oh, penalty zone on 2-3. The follow-up now, Mara still lives, but the Void Crystal secures the kill. Cuffin gets the score. Now Tarzan eyes on the turtle here. Cuffin as well and Sanji. Now Tarzan and Saudi Arabia gets the first objective of the game.
That was a picture-perfect penalty zone from Sanji there. Able to follow up on it, so they also not only managed to get a couple kills out of that whole interaction, they also get the turtle there. So now it's just this pendulum, right? The swinging back and forth. This is what we expected. Saudi Arabia showing up to this fight against a team like Egypt. And as we take a look at the items, things kind of situating, right? No first items just locked in just yet, but they're getting there, right? It's still early on, 3 minutes in. Still looking for their own setups in each individual lane that they can. Also, you gotta be watching out for these roamers. Maro's doing an amazing job just planning himself for the most part to provide that vision, right? Looking for his own setups with the revenges and the rages if he can, especially now that he's level 4. Big thing too, once again, is Troll, right? And some people might be like, well, was this the best option to pick an R-Lot in the roam role? It works, it can work, but it really just depends if they can capitalize on it. It's actually a great interaction with having a penalty zone, having the real world manipulation to help you out, final slashing multiple members into where you need them to be, but that's easy on paper, right? What about once it's in the game, you have to be able to pull that off, and so far, we've seen glimpses of it, right? But still, as the game progresses, is this R-Lot the best choice for that roam?
I did notice there was 4 tough boots present on Saudi Arabia. With quantum charges, that's the encourage passive that can actually give them an extra boost of damage. Knowing that there's no tank, there's no catcher of Saudi Arabia, this is an all-in composition that they can just utilize. Oh, that's a jump, missed the bush there with a pixel. On the other hand, they try to take on with an exchange of spams and skills. Mara, on the other hand, goes to the turret for protection. Now Speedy and Smile as well, present. Well, on down bottom, XP is just doing the work. Look at that, taunting one. Smile could not escape this one. RWM being placed down. Bursted and poking down 2 members.
Marrow.
What a hug from Marrow. Now 4 members of Saudi Arabia trying to iron 1 kill here. Appraiser's Rat connected right in the face of Kufra. Tarzan secures the kill. Saudi Arabia to follow up the damage up top. Void Crystal slowing down Speedy. Now he's slowing down right onto the escape, right onto the turret. With the energy shields, he could do just fine.
It looked so good for a moment there, right? I mean, even with Marrow, but still, what a great response from Saudi Arabia there. Even for Tarzan to be exactly where he needed to be at the right moment, landing even that Appraiser's Wrath. Now he's going to secure the second turtle. Huda, defensive Tempest of Blades to get out of there. You can see the pressure, right? The pressure that is starting to build up for Egypt, but still, things aren't out of hand just yet.
So Marrow slowing down Stroll, bouncing ball with exchange, and the spams right there. Purple secured by Huda. Now slowly getting to progress with the lead. Saudi Arabia has a small deficit, but in terms of the defenses, all turrets still up, and just using this time to actually build up for their own toolkit, especially on the items. Right now, even for the marksman, let's focus on this, because right now we have 2 assists right onto Lark, and Speedy has his Endless Battle present.
And remember, as he just picked that up, Clint's one of those heroes, especially when he gets even, I would say Clint's more so one of those heroes that when you get 1 or 2 items, you kind of have to respect that damage early on. Meanwhile, you know, for example, like with Irithil, you need the time, right? You need the time, as it is even with like someone like Claude. But so at the same time, you can see that's why they're putting so much focus on the gold lanes. We see this a lot of the times too when you're trying to get an advantage. Let's say you have the Irithil on your team, you're trying to give that advantage to her to farm up as easy as possible. Maro, though, once again, spotting out multiple members might be a trouble.
Trying to slow down with Void Crystal. That's arguably MVP placed down. Maro falls down. And now Saudi Arabia now with a double Lark, amplifying his more of a damage as a marksman. Now Speedy here might be in trouble. Huda is here for the enforcement conceal. Will he be able to escape? No, he won't. That is a triple for the marksman of Saudi Arabia.
Man, as I was just talking about, Irithil needs time. You can just get rid of that entire statement.
How about that?
Lark just got 3 kills in a matter of a minute, and now it's going to be stacked, right? Maro still trying to help here.
Okay, from the back line, Alpha trying to spam out Calvin, bouncing out 1, dropping down his HP. Bardat's against 3, forced to flicker out, back to his defense. Turtle is up though, who gets it?
But right now, I think, you know, Saudi Arabia in the driver's seat, right? At this early point in the game, 7 minutes in, another turtle that's going to be 3 for 3. Egypt is not cut out to fight these skirmishes. Like these early skirmishes, they're not even full-on team fights just yet, right? They need to be in a position to actually hold their own. So, you know, realistically, what is that? More time for Speedy to get the items he needs. He's got only the Endless Battle for the most part. A little bit of defense, but you see it. They're clashing down a lot on that gold lane, kind of just keeping them there. Not only that, too, but the fact that you have already Cuffin with the Ice Queen wand, making it super difficult to get out of that real-world manipulation, you know, and that's what's happening. And then it follows up, like we said, with the Arlot when you have that final slash. So these are things that are getting out of hand quickly, right, at this point. So another big item pickup for Cuffin, the glowing wand now locked in here. And it's just going to make it that much more difficult for Egypt at this point, right? Leading into that first Lord here, they still got about a minute to farm up as much as possible. But either you find a pick or at least just continue to farm up. Maybe even give up the first Lord with this deficit. It's nothing crazy. We've seen actually worse deficits at this early point in the game, leading in that first Lord, so we'll see.
Alpha being slowed down by the Void Crystal 2. RWM now being placed onto this skirmish. Alpha is trying to escape this as well, but will he still make it through? No, that was 4. Ultimate, 3 ultimates used by Saudi Arabia to not get him back to the base.
See, that's too bad, and now Huda here trying to hold on to that mid turret best he can. Clears out the minions, but, you know, either way, they're going to go ahead and knock down that tier 1 at that point. And that's the thing. You know what Alpha's trying to do, right, with this Uranus, but unfortunately, again, there's not much follow-up that can be had with the kind of lack in items that they have at this point, right? So you're 15 seconds away from the Lord. You're just trying to get what you can here across the map.
Yeah, Cuffin is 1 XP ahead of Smile in terms of damage. Saudi has all things present right now to take on team fights against Egypt. So in the damage department, they could be relying on Speedy alone or even from Huda. You have setups, you have a way to depreciate the health or even the region out of the team of Saudi Arabia, but most of the times you need to have damage. Look at that. Spams just completely an inch of damage from Tarzan, and just holding the middle river here, Saudi is just eyeing on taking this objective for themselves.
Once again, they find themselves setting up here. Lord's now up. Like I said, Egypt has to answer the question, do we actually contest this? You can see it looks like they want to go for a conceal play if they have it available to
waiting.
them. Or looking for an angle themselves, right? They're going to have to be very careful how they approach it. Conceal was used.
Okay.
Do they
Sanji, though.
enter?
Smile caught the ultimate of Terizla here. They have extra knockup. They have a penalty zone for themselves. Paired up with the ultimate of the Kufra. Okay. Taking or catching 2 or 3 more members out of this Lord take. A challenge, though. But the damage right now of Saudi Arabia just hurt.
And just like that, once again, Lord's going to go ahead and reset. No one committing to it just yet. Huda's doing what Huda has to do. If he knows that he's not confident enough to actually go toe-to-toe, hold on, mid lane.
That's the combo, that's the flicker. Ult coming from a Kufra, 2 members down. Now being trapped RWM. Maro tries to bounce out, but Tarzan has eyes on target, being taunted down. He's not letting go. Tarzan is on a killing spree, 3-0 and 5. Having an advantage here for the Lord.
You see what just happened, OSX? Like, that was a moment where if they weren't this, this behind in terms of itemization, it's not, like I said, it's not anything huge, but with those low health bars, you couldn't actually capitalize off of it. And that's rough, right? Especially when you pick someone like this Ling that Huda has in his hands. We saw what it was like before. It was like night and day, right? The difference yesterday when he was just unleashing on the Fanny. The same thing can actually happen on a Ling, but the problem is you just had a harder early game than you had before, right? So at this point, you just, what he's doing is the only thing that he can do. But look at that, a couple hits here from Cuffin.
Look at the Scorch.
Yeah, it gets taken half health, right? That's just the way the cookie crumbles, basically, at this point, right? You gotta wait. There is Sanji to focus.
How does the penalty zone crumble upon Sanji? He still survived the onslaught, but
here he comes.
with a taunt and a save, Uda is going to secure the kill. Sanji has fallen down, and Egypt takes the score out of Saudi Arabia.
Okay, looking at that too. They still working on the Lord. It should go down here rather quickly, but good that Huda was able to get the kill there. Still, and Tarzan was left up, and that was actually the right call. Like, let's not continue on with that, right? They want to go ahead and back off here. This is a great pickup here for Speedy, for Egypt, picking up the Malefic Roar. So at this point, for that Clint, he's got 3 items locked in. He's got the Blade, he's got the Endless Battle, he's got the Malefic Roar. So, damage department is there. Look what happens right across the board, right on time. Lark picks it up as well. So this is already off to pretty much a great start. Both of these marksmen online at this point, right? The only difference, once again, like I said, with Lark, technically has 4 fully built items. So at this point, you have to lock down Lark if you're Egypt. How do you do that? Well, that's kind of up to Morrow, and that's why, once again, you pick the Kufra, but it's always a risk in a way, right? You're trying to find those setups in your own right with the Rages and Revenges, and if you miss them, if you whiff them, then who else is going to set up for your team?
Not only that,
No
Dominance Ice, see like this, how do you even soak up a bit of a second from a T5 such as this? Alpha being targeted down, using the damage coming from Troll. Tarzan is looking forward to maybe use the Razor's Wrath, but not connecting into the passive, not just yet, but Alpha is just completely trying to pull them off right onto their own territory just right there.
I'm trying to think too, in terms of like setting up potential, it really also, not just Morrow, like Smile could also play a role in this, right? Whether he's taking Cuffin's real world manipulation or he decides, maybe I'll take the penalty zone. And also he could take the final slash too. Like there's so many options over here for Smile to utilize, but I think that's even more important, right? If Morrow is landing those things, if he's not, then at least you have Smile, but Smile's got to get the ultimate that he wants. That's the hard part. And so far, even for Saudi Arabia, what we see them doing is just really playing defensively, not allowing Smile to get the ultimate that he probably wants. This all leads into now the Lord spawning here. We'll see how they battle it out. Cuffin with a big item pickup, Divine Glaive. He's going to hurt much more if any of these members in Egypt get locked into that real-world manipulation.
This is the game changer here. The ultimate of the Kufra could actually be a great amount of setup and a damage. But one thing that they're trying to target here is how will they find the damage dealer of Egypt. Right now it's just Alpha trying to pull them off the vicinity of this Lord. Antikyras has been taken by Tarzan. You have that extra deflector. Is again deplete damage right onto the defense for yourself. Now for Egypt here, they're not making the first move just yet. They're feeling it. They might be going for it. We see some skills being charged up here, but onto the positioning, they're waiting for Saudi Arabia to finally or even strike first.
Okay, good choice. Still, both teams a little wary. Mario's going to jump in, finds Tarzan. Not really the target he wants here. Alpha taking quite a few hits. With as tanky as he is, he already had to use the consecration. And there you go. Again,
seeing Valentina smile right on the corner, completely having a great amount of cover. That's the HUD coming in from Troll. What's the option now for Saudi Arabia? They have more tools to answer. Maro has completely fall back. There's no set right from Egypt right now onto the take. RGM has been placed upon. Now Saudi Arabia is getting one more member. 1, 2, and a double for Lark. Small is the only one left, and Huda as well. That's a triple. That is a complete devastation of damage right onto Egypt.
Man, I said it takes time, right, for Airfield to build up. Well, Lark had the time. He's the only one that falls here after that triple. And now Saudi Arabia will be marching down the mid lane. They don't even want the Lord here. They might just take this down and then make the straight line for that Lord. It looks like they're going to go ahead and do that. Huda left to defend on his own as we take a look at the replay here.
One more rewind back.
One more rewind. Look at this. The setups were on point. Even utilizing that final slash, man, we were talking about Troll, right? With this Arlot pick, it ended up working out in that situation, allowing for that whole interaction to go down that way. So there you are. Once again, Saudi Arabia in control of this game, furthering that gold lead, furthering the dominance in this game 1.
13-4, we have the lead on to Saudi Arabia, a different beast we're seeing from the Asian Oceania qualifiers. Now it's still Alpha trying to make a zone out of a potential out from Saudi Arabia now. How will they answer with the damage? How will they answer? Will the surprise be coming from? There's a Terilsa with the penalty zone. There's Troll, there's Lark. Now it's a 6-1 and 4. Kide standing, man, that's devastating for damage. Wait, just 2 members just strolling around. It's Huda as well, being hit to the final slash. Tarzan secures the objective, and it's go time for Saudi Arabia. Will they be in a pursuit? No, they won't. Maro charging up, getting in for a jump, but Coffin just completely secured the Winter Truncheon just in case things go wrong.
Better that they didn't actually commit to that, right? Just go back to the base here. Defend. You have pretty good clear for the most part, right? Clear things out and even put pressure on the side lanes. That's what Huda can do. Putting pressure, top or bottom. They have to deal with this Lord, though. Manage these waves the best spot. Look at Huda, dude. Look at him at the top side. There's 2 members there as well. They have to be careful with this. Might be better he goes back to the base here.
We've seen Ling games, and even on the last minute, there's still clutch time being present. There's a threat imminent, even for this composition. Lord now knocking in the base. Now Alpha is just pulling and poking out the back line of Saudi Arabia. Final slash has been connected now. Taking down that turret out by Lark. Now secured all here. Maro goes down. Speedy as well. Making it 8 kills onto this marksman. Going in full feeding frenzy. Saudi Arabia now in the base of Egypt. How will they defend? But now the base being torn upon. It's game number 1. And it's taken by Saudi Arabia.
18 minutes in. Clean game from Saudi Arabia there. I gotta say, man, that is looking like an improvement.